Welcome to the Business of Business podcast. In this episode, Lewis speaks with me, Shah, professional cricketer and co-founder of Cricheroes. We chat about cricket and how the sport is rapidly growing to one of the biggest sports on the planet, and how Meet is helping the grassroots development. Enjoy.
Hey, welcome, Meet. Thank you very much for joining me. I want to start this session off by talking about your background in cricket itself before we get on to things like Cricheroes and what you're doing now. Do you want to give us some background on your professional cricketing career to date?
Sure, Luis. First of all, thank you so much for having me here. So before Cricheroes, I was a professional cricketer, and I started playing at the age of 6. And later, I have started representing my school and district and state level leagues. So I was a player of Gujarat Cricket Association and Gujarat University. And so those are the important BCCI and university leagues happening in India.
Yep.
And I'm a all-rounder, so left-hand batsman and left-arm leg spinner.
Okay. Excellent. So you covered a few things there. Could you, for those who don't know, could you talk a little bit about Gujarat, the area of India? Perhaps that's where we start. Where is Gujarat in India?
All right. So Gujarat is based in west zone of India,
Okay.
and so it is said to be one of the safest place of India as well. Specifically, the Ahmedabad, where we are based in Gujarat, it is one of the largest city.
Right.
If I talk about the overall state, there are a lot of culture happening here. Then it's so on the other hand, the people have great passion about cricket specifically.
Yeah.
And if I talk about the domestic leagues and grassroots leagues, Gujarat having one of the largest night cricket market here. So, there are so many tournaments which happens on the party plots during the off season of weddings. So
Right.
when there are no weddings, those party plots also have they also arrange tournaments.
Okay.
That level of passion is here in
Yeah.
Gujarat, and definitely cricket is being played by from kids to the corporates, as well as schools and district level games are happening.
Yeah.
So it's a huge market.
And if I'm right in saying you guys have just opened is it the largest cricket stadium on the planet?
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I forgot to mention, but we have recently built, so Gujarat Cricket Association has recently built the largest cricket stadium, and which was opened by Mr. Trump, President of US,
Okay.
last year. And so that has a capacity of 1.10 lakh people.
And that's that. If I'm right in saying that's over 100,000 people, right? For those who don't know the value of lakh.
Yeah, of course, 100,000 people.
Yeah. So huge.
Yeah, it's huge, and I'm fortunate enough to played a few games on that stadium as well.
Okay.
So it's really amazing. At that time, also the stadium was huge, and it was extremely lush green ground and neat and clean with high class facilities as well.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it has been rebuilt with more facilities and advanced technology.
Yeah. Okay. Now, the Gujarat Cricket Association is not for those listening who don't know, perhaps don't have the background in cricket. The Gujarat Cricket Association, if I'm right in saying, is a not-for-profit. It's not associated with the Indian Premier League. Is that right?
Yeah. So Gujarat Cricket Association is yet to get affiliation with IPL.
Okay.
Due to they only stick to 10 teams or 8 teams. So that's why still we are not there. But still, Gujarat Cricket Association is one of the very old and prestigious part of BCCI. And so they have produced so many cricketers. So it starts from in the recent generation. If I talk, Parthiv Patel, he is currently Gujarat cricket captain in the Ranji Trophy team. He has played so many international games for India, and in current match, we know Jasprit Bumrah, the number one bowler.
Right.
He he is from Gujarat, and we have Akshay Patel as well.
Yeah.
He is also from Gujarat. So we have some current Indian players as well
Yeah.
who are based of Gujarat.
And if I'm right in saying your current president, Modi, was president of Gujarat Cricket Association back before he became president. He had to give it up when he became president. Is that right?
Yes, of course, and I'm sure the idea of building this stadium is also from his brain itself because he worked very closely with Gujarat Cricket Association,
Right.
and he was at that time he was CM of Gujarat as well.
Yeah.
So I won't be able to spend a lot of time, but still he has his eyes on the cricket activities as well,
Yeah.
and he has done few things which helped cricketers. So by developing more grounds besides this Motera Stadium, so it's not only Motera Stadium, but there are few more grounds in that same area.
Right.
So just beside the stadium, there are few more grounds where this inter-district, inter-school, and those leagues are happening.
Yeah.
That has been developed. Then GCA has also developed their cricket academy, where district level and state level cricketers can go there, and they have the facility of coaches, wickets, gym. Everything is free for them, and they can access it.
Yeah. Yeah.
At that level, I mean, still players are getting more and more benefits from the association.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Okay. And I mentioned the Indian Premier League there because I think one of the things that you notice in the news when you look up the Indian Premier League and cricket in general is just how big the fan base is and the money that's kind of coming into Indian cricket. So I read there's over 1 billion fans worldwide, and India. Well, Indians represent 90% of the global audience, which is incredible.
Correct.
And we talked before, you mentioned that there are around 300 million players. Is that right?
Yes, correct. So that has been the survey by ICC that there are 300 million plus cricketers globally and 1 billion plus fans. So that survey was happened around 1.5 years ago. So still the numbers will be increased. Now, out of them, I can say that 60-70% audience or players will be from India or should be from India. In India, I mean, it's a huge market, and even it starts from a small gully cricket to then school games, society games, district games. There are players who plays on weekends, Saturday, Sunday, those individual games. So, I mean, I'm sure that the ICC survey is absolutely correct.
Yeah. Yeah. I was looking at the stats for the IPL, the Indian Premier League, and as of the end of 2019, it was valued at $6.8 billion. And that was up from several $100 million back around 2010, 2011. So tremendous growth. I mean, it's up there with the things like the English Premier League for soccer and the NFL here in the US. So growing to be one of the biggest sports on the planet.
Right. No, definitely it is growing very fast, and because of IPL, I can say that the cricket in India specifically changed the way people were used to take this game seriously. So it all happened together. India won 2007 T20 World Cup, then they won in 2011 the ODI World Cup.
Yeah.
During those times, the IPL was also started, I believe, in 2008. So those few years were very important, and because of that, now so many youngsters, so many school players, they want to take cricket as their profession, and they just want to play cricket.
Yeah.
Even the parents have been opened enough to take sports as a career, specifically cricket in
Right.
India. That was not the case before. So this all because everyone is worried, what we'll do if you not study. But
Right.
now, if you are playing good cricket here in India, at least if you are playing a first class cricket, then you don't have to worry about anything else. I mean, you play cricket for a few months and then you can practice for the rest of the month as well and
Yeah.
prepare better.
Yeah.
So that level of monetary has been involved in the game.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, this kind of brings us onto a nice segue and to talk about what you're doing now, which is Crick Heroes. So we have at one end of the scale, we have money coming into the Indian Premier League, the pinnacle of the sport. What you're doing is you're trying to help people at the grassroots level. So could you give some background on Crick Heroes? Just talk about what it is that you guys are working on.
Sure. So, great question. And yeah, so we started Crick Heroes back in 2016, April. So it starts from just a basic, we just wanted to build, very basic scoring app.
Yeah.
So we want people to score their games live and it should be so easy that, within 5 minutes they can score their game live.
Yeah.
So that was the concept when we started. And I very well remember in 2016 October on the 17th we started. So here in India, cricket season is from October to June, right?
Okay.
You don't want to miss the starting phase of the tournaments.
Yeah.
So it was inter college tournament here, and me with Abhishek and two of the guys, we personally went to score some of the matches of the tournament.
Right.
It was alpha or beta version of the app. There were some errors as well, and that's how it started. So the idea was to help these amateur cricketers, give them a platform where they can showcase their talent, they get recognition, and later on they become a better cricketers with the help of this analysis.
Okay. So when we first talked, you mentioned, and I think in a previous interview, your co-founder Abhishek Desai, you mentioned that historically the majority of amateur cricket matches were scored on paper, right? So with that being scored on paper, I guess you guys have mentioned that there was no way sort of to track if you were improving, right? And so what you aim to do with Crick Heroes is a way of kind of capturing your personal score, your team score, and kind of almost sort of turn it into a game in itself of being able to compare how you're getting on to the other cricket associations, right?
Correct. So the very best incident, if I remember, that I just mentioned, we scored that tournament, right? So on the first day when we were scoring it online, there was no interface for the players where they can download or they can follow any link.
Yeah.
But still, there was that environment on the ground that our game has been followed digitally, and
Right.
we'll be able to see it on the phone or on the website. That level was of excitement we were able to see at that time,
Yeah.
and that was a good sign for us that players will like it. In India, most of the tournaments matches has been scored by scorers. So to win a scorer's confidence was very important for us. At
Yeah.
that time, we were able to sense that scorers are feeling insecure because
Okay.
doing manual scoring is an art, right? You have to be good enough to understand how that scoring works on the sheet.
Yeah.
But if you are scoring from the phone, it is quite easier. You don't have to see all the things, all the boxes. So
Yeah.
it is quite easy. Even a non-scorer can score matches on the app. So at that time, the scorers were, I mean, they were feared of this, and but gradually we started promoting them on the app. We started giving them references of the tournaments where they go and score the matches.
Yeah.
Later on, players also involved. There was a network effect where player can see other players' profile. He can follow one player. He gets notification when his friends are playing. So that all things happen together.
Okay.
And On the top of it, you are right. The players started seeing their stats, their scorecards, and so at that time we don't had any analysis model,
Right.
but at least you have your own profile, which was very difficult. You have to take a scorecard of the manual score sheet and you keep it in your phone, or you write down your performance in the diaries. Those
Yeah.
were the practice players used to do.
Right.
But now, because of digital scoring, they have their own profile in their app, and they can claim it proudly that this is my profile, these are the matches. So it also helps them for the selection process, as and when it happened. Then also they can show it to some academies, they can show it to sponsors that
Okay.
this I am. Earlier it was very difficult. If I want to give sponsorship to someone, I don't have any proof. Or as a player, if I want to go and show my stats that this is what I have done and I am not selected,
Yeah.
there was no proof for the player. You cannot show those manual
Yeah.
scorecards. It was difficult. That was the biggest problem I believe we have solved, because if I connect the current scenario with my cricket journey, as I mentioned earlier, I had my entire journey in a one diary, where I have started recording my first game to last game,
Yeah.
what I have done, how did I got out, that everything I have written.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as you know, it has no value, right? No one is going to believe it.
Yeah. I was going to say, yeah, because you mentioned something there about the scorers, and to be clear, as a player, you're not scoring yourself, right? There's somebody independent that is keeping track of the scores during a game, I guess, for both teams.
Yeah, for both the teams. Yes.
Okay. So that kind of avoids any cheating, I suppose.
Yeah. So tournament organizer hires a scorer and he score the entire tournament for
Yeah.
him. That's how the system here works.
Okay. And
But
and just for those who don't know, is the scorer new, or did the games already have an independent scorer?
sorry,
No.
pardon, can you repeat?
Yeah, I was saying, like, you mentioned about, that the game, there's a scorer that's hired, right? Was that always happening, or is that something new with Crick Heroes? Do teams now hire, or associations now hire scorers?
That was always happening.
Yeah.
It's old process here in India. I mean, but the reverse thing has happened. The app is so easy now that some of the tournaments they don't hire scorer.
Yeah.
Even organizer himself will do the scoring, or else
Okay.
some of the committee member will do the scoring.
Yeah.
So it has become that easy. Earlier, it was not the case. To do a scoring, you need that manual scorecard and you have to fill it properly,
Yeah.
give report. But now this digitalization has solved that problem. But still, 90% of the tournaments has been scored by professional scorers, because that is the beauty of the tournament as well, that
Yeah.
you have dedicated person who is responsible to note down everything. So it is said that scorers writes the history of the cricket.
Yeah.
So you can see all these records of international players which has been recorded by scorers and statistician. So they are playing a great role, and the Cricket Heroes is a platform for them
Right.
as well. We want to make their life easier, and we receive feedback from so many scorers that we are getting good business because of this digital scoring as well, because of the network you have been in, and so on.
Yeah.
So we are glad that scorers are also getting benefit from Crick Heroes.
Yeah. So here we are at early March 2020. How many people have signed up with the app?
So we have around 4.8 million cricketers registered.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and we are present in 50 plus countries right now, and players have scored more than 500,000 matches on the platform.
Fantastic. And you have
But
presence here in the US as well, right?
yes, so in USA we have gradually started uh, So new tournaments has been registered. Most of them are from California,
Yeah.
Texas, and one more state. Uh,
That's okay.
yeah,
But you're starting to get a footprint here, um, and starting to make
even
an impact. Yeah.
Atlanta, we are officially working with Atlanta Cricket.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
so that way we have started our footprints there in
Yeah.
US, and we are sure that there is a huge market, and players will love to use our app once we are there.
Yeah. Okay. And so, what you guys are essentially doing then is building a huge library of data around games and performance, and then making it social for players to
Right.
share.
Right.
And I, like you say, helping people improve, and I guess giving people evidence to show, whether they're any good or not, right? If they have desires to become a professional, having something that's storing that information is is going to be key to sort of proving, whether they're any good or not.
Right.
From what you've seen then since over the last few years, what are some of the things that you're seeing with players now using the app? Are people genuinely sort of using it to improve? Are they able to see how they're improving graphically on the app?
Sure. So it's a great question, and I'll say that there are two type of audience on the Crick Heroes. Uh, one the players who are taking cricket as a profession and they want to become cricketers and they want to represent their district, state, and maybe country as well.
Yeah,
And there are players who play cricket for passion, amateur cricket. They just play it for fun, right?
yeah,
So this cricket sides is more focused with the players who wants to pursue cricket in their career, and they really want to play at a higher level. So definitely it is helping them. They can analyze themselves very deeply than they were able to do it previously. They have genuinely started becoming better cricketers, and you won't believe there are so many reviews on the Play Store and App Store that they have written about how Crick Insight is helping them to improve their game.
right. Okay,
Not only players, but on the other hand, coaches.
yeah. And
They,
so aside from players, I imagine you're getting a lot of interest from sponsors, from business. How's that kind of playing in with what you guys are doing?
Correct. Because of the network and the number of users we have, uh, now there are brands who wants to, get highlighted on our platform. So it's one of the revenue stream for us where, we call it power promote,
Yeah.
where we give visibility to brands on our platform,
Okay.
and they get a good business out of here because they have their targeted audience on the Crick Heroes, right? They want to target cricketers or
Yeah.
cricket related system. And Crick Heroes, I can proudly say it is one of the only platform right now to have so many dedicated cricketers and that ecosystem on one platform.
Yeah.
So it is a great platform for the brands as well as everyone who wants to promote their business related to cricket.
Yeah.
We can help them.
Yeah. So it sounds like at this point you're enjoying a great deal of success. I look at some of the past interviews. It seems like you're growing probably about 1 million players every year for the last
Yeah.
few years, right? What were some
Right.
of the early sort of problems and challenges you had when you were starting out?
So when we started, as I said, to win scorers, confidence was very important for us.
Yeah.
That we are not here to replace them, but we are here to help them. So it took us some time, but as they started scoring the games and as we have started referring them tournaments, that problem solved automatically.
Yeah.
Eventually, we also started building this app, very easy to use, where scorers have to do less entries and their entire work is completed. So that way we win scorers confidence. That was not a major challenge, but one of the challenge as well in the beginning.
Yeah.
And as soon as we grow, we faced couple of times server issues where during the weekends when we have heavy traffics,
Yeah.
during the morning and evening time when so many users are on the app. Sometimes the server went down and players are not able to score the game,
Yeah.
or they are not able to see their scorecard, or they are not able to do any activity.
Yeah.
So we faced that challenge for a couple of weeks, but uh, then we sort it out. But yeah, that was the challenge we faced at that time.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a
And what,
challenge. Yeah, I mean that's a challenge for a lot of startups going through the process of getting to that point where you get a lot of traffic, and as you say, a lot of traffic at the weekend when people are off work and actually playing the game and using the app. So,
exactly.
and if I'm right in saying when you started out, you had to raise capital to get going. Do you still have some good investors around you?
Yeah, so when we started, we got support from our friends and family,
Okay,
and one of the friend and investor also invested in the early days of Crick Heroes,
right.
just after 12 months. And yeah, still we have investment in the company, and that is helping us growing further.
Yeah, yeah. And what I want to come on to now, as you say, you played for the Gujarat Cricket Association.
Mhm.
What is your background outside of cricket? Did you go to university? What was your education like?
Yes, so yeah, I'm a Bachelor of Commerce, and I studied from HL College,
Yeah.
very for sports in even education in Ahmedabad, in
Okay.
fact in Gujarat. So so my schooling was from St. Xavier's Loyola School and Hiramani,
Okay.
two schools, and then I studied from HL College of Commerce.
Right.
So
So
my background for Crick Heroes, I can say it's just cricket. I'm not from technical background,
yeah.
but my colleagues, co-founders, they are from technical background. So
Yeah.
it's good that I'm more aware of the grassroots activities and cricket activities, and they are very strong with technical things. So
Yeah.
it's a great.
So what was that like for you going from sports, professional cricket into the business world? Did you find it hard? And was it an easy transition, or was it kind of difficult for you making that move?
No, I think it was not very difficult for me
Okay.
because when we started Crick Heroes, I was professionally playing cricket at that time as well. So
Right.
initially, I started coming half day here,
Yeah.
and the day I was playing cricket, or going for the practice. And later on, as soon as I realized that this growing and my involvement is more required here, and basically it is cricket, so it is of my subject and my interest.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
I
going to
also
say,
noticed it's a great problem which I'm solving, which I have faced my entire life. So, and now I'm at a stage where I have to think of the other part of my life as well.
yeah.
So, it was easy for me, but yeah, some of the technical things were difficult to understand initially. The uh, but yeah, now it is good, and and luckily we are in the heart of so many cricketers, and we are helping them to have their journey rememberable.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. So I wanted to ask, in terms of kind of progress and going forward, where do you want to take this idea? Is it, what's the future look like for Crick Heroes?
Sure. So I will say that we have just started, and as you know, the survey of ICC and what numbers we are at, uh, hardly we have covered 2-3% of the cricket.
Yeah.
But still, we want to get into each and every cricketer's heart. We want them to use Crick Heroes. We want them to, score their matches on the platform,
Yeah.
and they become better cricketers with the help of this technology. So
Yeah.
that is the end goal. So
Yeah,
we have achieved something, and but it's just started. That's what I can say.
yeah. Do you would you foresee, you know, going public, going on the India Stock Exchange? Is that a kind of a dream for you guys?
No, we have not thought anything related to that right now.
Yeah,
But maybe in future, not sure. Let's see how it goes.
yeah, yeah. But it certainly sounds like you're enjoying tremendous growth. What's that been?
They-
You mentioned, you know, technical issues in the early days. Um, how many staff do you, how many employees do you have there at Cricket Heroes?
So currently, we have team of 30 people.
Okay,
We have 13, 14 people in sales
okay,
support team. We have a dedicated growth and marketing team,
yeah,
and then we have development team, Android app, website, and servers.
right,
So, and we are three founders. So everyone looks after the dedicated department.
okay. And you know, as I say, you mentioned some of the early technical issues. What's it been like building a team? Can you shed some light on, you know, going from just a couple of you up to 30 something people? What was it like building a team for you guys?
So I personally work very close with sales and support team.
Okay,
Abhishek, well, they both are from technical background and they look after the technical teams.
yeah,
But I'm sure. So we are lucky enough to have very intelligent and great employees,
yeah,
and who are also very attached to the company. You know that is very important. So if something like this server went down or something happens during the weekends as well, they are always on their toes, and they give support from them home, or else if they are traveling they will make sure that this problem should get first, rest everything will be done after that.
yeah,
So to build that kind of culture in the company, that was also important, and now it is there, so everyone is very much attached to the Crick Heroes.
yeah, yeah,
And that even my our sales support team, they work 24/7, I can say that. And the user, whoever is coming for the help, he gets the support so quickly. And
yeah,
that was the first motto. It's not that you build something and you then take it ahead, but if at the end your support team should be on the toes, and
of course, yeah, yeah, yeah.
that will.
And
Yeah.
you mentioned that, you know, the key word culture there. You know, and how would you describe the culture? Is it fun? I imagine that the people who work there are fairly passionate about cricket and being a part of this cause, right?
Right. So not only cricket, but you do some of the team building activities, or you make sure you don't see these people as an employees only, but they are a part of the company.
Yeah,
They should have all the access which you are having as a founders.
yeah,
So we don't differentiate those things. Even there is no pressure. If you want to take leave, you get paid leaves. You are on a vacation, you get paid vacation.
yeah.
Nothing like these are the limitation of that.
Okay,
So that way it also helps employees
yeah,
to be more attached.
okay. Um, and so we're talking about employees here. From coming back to you, and then perhaps we'll come back to the company again. Um, Do you have you got any mentors? Are there, you know, people that you look up to, that you work with, or that are, you know, helping you in this journey?
No, currently there is no mentor, but
Okay.
what we can say that is, we as a founders, we have played cricket, we have played sports, so, and we were the leaders,
Yeah.
so we know how to build team, how to keep them gelled up, and you know it's not only about giving orders, but sometimes to make sure. what they want and what they want from us and how we can fulfill that,
Yeah.
and also take care of all the necessary things of them as well.
Okay. So
So
yeah, and that's a good point, because you mentioned there, cricket being, an incredibly team orientated sport.
exactly,
I suppose, for your employees, you're able to bring a lot of that team mentality into the business, right?
exactly. It is there that everyone should help each other in the task. Whenever you free, if you feel that you don't have anything on your hand, just go and ask some of your colleague that, hey, how can I help you? So
Yeah.
that kind of culture is we are trying to build, and that is also that helps employees to stay gelled up with each other.
Yeah.
It is not a relation between we and them. It should be very much transparent between the employees as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that way we are lucky enough to have a great team, and that is what keeps us you know improving and growing faster.
Yeah. Yeah. We talked at the beginning about Gujarat Cricket Association and the relationship with the IPL. Now, Cricket
Right.
Heroes is obviously a for the amateur, the grassroots element of the sport. Do you have any plans to work with the IPL? Is there any opportunities for Cricket Heroes and for your team to go up to the professional level? Is there any relationship there?
So currently, we have not focused on that
Yeah.
because we are working at grassroots and we are working with this cricket associations, right?
Okay.
So finding talent for them is what we are doing currently. But
Yeah.
for their big teams and state teams, IPL, there are, as you know, so many people are behind them, so many companies, the
Yeah.
big guns, so Crickers, they also cover the entire tournament so closely.
Yeah.
People love to follow these international games and IPL kind of leagues on Crick Info or Crickbuzz.
Yeah.
So if we go in that segment, people will start comparing us with them directly, which we don't want.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we on the grassroots, we want to help these people who are playing cricket so passionately without expecting anything out of it.
Yeah.
So this journey of cricketers we want to capture, and we are trying to stay away from international and IPL leagues. That is the only reason that we want ourselves or cricket heroes to be stand out as a platform for amateur and grassroots cricket,
Yeah.
not for the international leagues.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, but this analysis module and finding talent for IPL teams, we may come in picture maybe after a few years. But as I said earlier, we have not thought anything of that right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it certainly seems like you've got your hands full at the grassroots level and the amateur level. You talked about helping the associations out. Is that working already? Are you directly seeing talent on Cricket Heroes being picked up by some of these associations? Do you have any of those kind of testimonies so far?
Yeah, definitely. We work with 50 plus associations, I believe. They are affiliated to BCCI or ICC. And there
Yeah.
are so many small district association and clubs. But if I talk to you about BCCI and ICC association, they all use Cricket Heroes to score their matches, and after that do the selection process. So many a times they also ask us to provide certain data where they are confused or they want to get cleared.
Yeah.
So even I remember some of the coaches of Gujarat Cricket Association and selectors, they call us and ask for certain data or certain links where they can find those
Yeah.
data.
Yeah.
So that way, the Cricket Heroes has been a trusted platform for them and for the players. That if I have a good profile on Cricket Heroes, someday I will be recognized or I'll be, representing my district or state team.
Yeah. And do you find, like you say, previously, scores were written on paper and all that kind of thing. Do you find that your app kind of also reaches down to those who are poorer, from less fortunate backgrounds, able to highlight some of their talent? Do you or is that still out of reach because I guess you need a phone? So I'm just curious as to know whether this is, also helping out,
Right.
bring value to those who are, let's say less fortunate than others.
Of course. No, I believe it has been improved, and that is because of when we launched, there were certain things which happened. So first of all, internet was not so cheap at that time, but because of Geo here in
Yeah.
India, internet started very cheaply. So the problem of scoring online and losing your mobile pack data, that was solved automatically.
Okay.
On the other hand, the companies like Oppo and Vivo, they have started building smartphones with very cheap rates. So there
Okay.
were Samsung earlier in India, but if you want to buy a smartphone, you should have a budget of at least 10K, 12K.
Yeah.
But because of this Vivo, Oppo, and other companies, the smartphone have been started from 4, 5 thousand, 4, 5K.
Okay.
So that was affordable at least. And in fact, because of this Geo, internet was cheap, smartphone is cheap. So that problem got solved automatically
Yeah.
out of nowhere. I'm sure there are so many small villages and towns where we might not be able to reach due to this thing,
Yeah.
but we are covering major of them. That's what I can say. In India, only we have presence in more than 4,000 cities.
Yeah.
So that includes small cities as well as big cities and major towns.
So as
So
you because you mentioned something important there, which is that the infrastructure in India, particularly around the internet, is developing. And I think what you were saying there is that the internet and through phones, smartphones, is becoming a lot more accessible for people who are geographically spread out, but
definitely
also for those who are poorer, I guess, right?
correct.
And so
Yeah.
aside from Crick Heroes, what when we look at the spread of the internet, what are the kind of what else is happening in India with the spread of internet accessibility through smartphones? What's that like there?
Yeah. So interesting question. And see, it has given a great network effect, I would say,
Yeah,
that the business of WhatsApp, you can say, or communication business has been improved a lot
right.
because of accessible. Plus, if you're staying away from the home, it is very easy to have a WhatsApp call or video call at that
Yeah.
time to stay connected with your family
Okay.
at a very cheap rates, right? Previously, it was not the case. In fact, streaming technologies like Hotstar and Netflix, the consumption of even Amazon Prime, the consumption has been increased a lot in India
Right.
because of that. And Hotstar being one of the largest sports consumption platform, it is very easy for the cricket fans to follow these matches and tournaments from directly from the mobile, even when they are traveling or they are working in their office.
Yeah.
So this level of visibility, this the internet has given in last few years.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, because you raised an important point about timing, I guess. So in terms of you guys, you've been around for a few years. I guess you're really
Right.
coming out at the right time in terms of people getting the access that they didn't have before, and being able to enjoy not just cricket heroes, but I guess like you say, being able to watch cricket matches as well, right?
Correct, correct. And this thing is also helping us currently because we have launched a feature called live stream your game. So you can stream your cricket match as well, just the way
Right.
you can follow match on Hotstar or any other
Okay.
channel.
Okay.
You can stream your local tournament and you can follow it live on Crick Heroes
Yeah.
with action. So because of this internet feasibilities, people don't mind spending some amount on exceeding the internet limit, and they do stream their matches as well.
Right.
Previously, it was so costly you cannot think of streaming your game, or else you lose few GB data a day, and that cost you so much,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is
So you
because.
guys are also in some part,
Mhm.
like I guess in some part, a sort of a Netflix for cricket, right? If you're able to stream grassroots games,
Correct.
And is that exclusive through your service?
Yeah, it is a premium service.
Yeah, yeah. Because
So
parts of the app are free, and then other parts you have to pay for, right?
yeah, so we have a freemium model.
Yeah,
So some of the basic features to score a game is absolutely free. But if you want to do some premium activities, just I mentioned that you want to stream your game or you want to analyze your profile, that is Crick Insights.
yeah.
Then we have one more feature which is your app. So if you want to build your personalized app with your own branding, we
Okay.
we can develop it and provide it. So these all associations, most of them have developed their own app
Yeah,
because they like to see things getting under their roof.
yeah,
So the follow stores and everything under their own app. So we do that for them, and we have this power promote feature where we promote brands and cricket related products on the platform,
yeah,
and they get good business out of it. So that is one more feature.
yeah.
So these are the few features, and one more important feature I mentioned, that is super sponsor. So
Okay.
if your tournament has any sponsors, we give them visibility on the scorecards, and
Okay.
they get good mileage out of it. So
Yeah,
previously that was not the case. If you have tournament sponsors, only you can stick their banners on the ground or on the t-shirt,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is them, and it has no value once the tournament ends.
yeah,
But because of the super sponsor feature, sponsors get visibility on the platform throughout the tournament and even after the tournament ends. So
yeah,
let's say if I go and follow any of the tournament which has sponsors, if I go on the scorecard, still I will see who was sponsor of this tournament at
yeah,
that time.
yeah,
So that way we have made life of sponsors easy as well, that they get at least a good traction.
yeah, yeah. Fantastic. So you're building a social media platform, almost like a TV network distribution platform, as well as you say, the scoring platform as well on the personal level. So it certainly sounds like you have a very exciting journey ahead of you. What I want to kind of round out this session to talk about is, as a cricketer, as a co-founder of Crick Heroes, what
Mhm.
and considering the team nature of all of this, what advice would you give to other people out there who are they desire to start their own business, or they desire to become a better team player? What are some of the things that you would tell them if they look to you as a mentor?
Sure, I'd only say one thing, that go ahead and start something, and don't worry about what you know uh, what is going to happen next. But if you are doing something which is really passionate to you, and you know you should definitely go into it. Just try to study the size of the market, that
Yep.
and what problem you are solving, then rest everything will fall apart. That what my experience is with Crick Heroes. As you know, I'm not from the technical background, still working in this IT field, and now helping cricketers to have a better life.
Yeah.
That is the one advice. And I would say start as early as possible, because if you think so much and if you are mature enough, then you have so many questions from your heart itself, that
Yeah.
what will happen.
Yeah.
But if you are doing something related to your passion, I think you should just start it and be honest to yourself. Rest everything will follow.
Yeah. So you like taking risk. You like going for it, as they say.
Yeah, definitely. I like to take risk. Even when I was playing cricket, uh, I was not very attacking player, but I used to play a risky game in terms of challenging game.
Yeah. So I want to ask you at the as we come to the end here, where can people find Crick Heroes? I know it's an app, but could you just tell everybody where we can find Crick Heroes?
So yeah, Crick Heroes is available on three platforms. One, you can download it from Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and we have a website, cricheroes.in, and then it can take it ahead from there. We also have app on MI Store.
Okay, excellent. Well, Meet, it has been a real pleasure to talk to you. I think the timing has been great in terms of this new stadium, in terms of the popularity of the sport, and in terms of how you guys are really growing this application. So I wish you all the best. Again, I want to thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me. And for anybody listening, it's Crick Heroes, CRIC heroes.in, or you can find Crick Heroes on those app stores that Meet mentioned. So thank you very much, Meet. I do appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Lewis. Thank you very much for having me once again.